In the headlines, the search for a murder suspect in Nash County leads deputies to Virginia this week. A fight at a local nightclub puts one in jail on serious assault charges. The North Carolina House pushes legislation that would place additional restrictions on abortions, and the city of Wilson will not give up so easy on their battle to keep Sanderson farms out of the region. These stories and more coming up on NewsBreak starting now.
From WHIG-TV, this is NewsBreak 31. Now, here's Marie Torres.
You're watching WHIG-TV NewsBreak, your voice in the community. I'm Marie Torres. First up, following up on a case of assault, deputies find the body of a Nash County man this week. Nash County Sheriff's Office is investigating the murder of 21-year-old Michael Dale Morissette Jr., who initially went missing Monday. Captain Pat Joyner with the Sheriff's Office says they first received a call of a possible assault that afternoon at a home on White Oak Hill Road in Bailey by the victim's sister. Deputies say the man accused in Morissette's death, 21-year-old Trey Lee Emerson, fled before their arrival. Emerson and Morissette were believed to be acquaintances. Close to 11 Monday night, investigators finally found the body of Morissette in a wooded area behind the residence. Captain Joyner says Emerson, who also has a Bailey address, was taken into custody in Norfolk, Virginia after fleeing there. Emerson awaits extradition to face charges of first-degree murder. We've also learned that he faces charges of assault in Virginia and a head-on collision in eastern North Carolina. Details are still unraveling at this time. We'll be bringing you updates in this case as we get them. A fight at a local nightclub puts one in jail on serious assault charges. According to Rocky Mount Police, shortly after midnight Tuesday at the Nightlife Club on Country Club Road, they found two victims with head injuries. Police say the accused, 21-year-old Jeffrey Allen Holmes Jr., allegedly hit the 25 and 32-year-old men with a beer mug before driving off in a silver van. Officers were able to locate the van and Holmes on North Raleigh Street. He is now in custody, charged with 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon with the intent to kill, inflicting serious injury. The victims suffered non-life-threatening injuries and were treated at Nash General Hospital. Holmes currently sits in the Nash County Jail under a $70,000 secured bond. Yet again, Rocky Mount Police take down another most wanted suspect. The PD says 22-year-old Delasio Kelly Grimes was apprehended in Churchville, New York, on outstanding warrants in Rocky Mount for felony breaking and entering, felony larceny, obtaining property by false pretenses, and failure to appear on an assault with a deadly weapon charge. This year, Grimes was identified as a suspect in a residential breaking and entering case on Belvedere Street. He is now being held in Monroe County Jail in New York as he awaits extradition. And to talk more about Grimes' arrest and how he was tipped off, we spoke to Crime Stoppers detective for Rocky Mount Police, Scott Hale. He also sheds light on other most wanted suspects and how providing the smallest bit of information can help make a big crack in the case.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mr. Grimes, tell us about that.
Yes, Delasio Grimes had been wanted in our top 10 since the first part of this year. I think I put him in there in January, and he has been on the run since then. And he was wanted for felony breaking and entering, felony larceny, obtaining property by false pretense, and he actually failed to appear on an assault charge during that time that he was in the top 10. So he was wanted on all that stuff. We got a Crime Stoppers tip. Called in, gave us a location of where he may be at, and we sent, it was in another state, we sent the police in that state to the address that was given to us, and he was apprehended.
Now, Crime Stoppers, someone basically gave you a tip. Tell us about Crime Stoppers in general and how people can call and give information.
Crime Stoppers number is 977-1111, and it rings right here in my office. The phone is directly behind me. Or you can be reached at Rocky Mount, Crime Stoppers at rockymount.com.
And you all have some more people who are wanted. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we still have, during this week's top 10, we've actually apprehended 6 people out of it, and we're still looking for 4 other ones. Jonathan Solomon, he's also still wanted on some fraud stuff. Kendrick Everett is wanted out of Pine Tops for an assault. Earl Lee Ruffin is wanted for, he's an absconder from probation and parole, and Shawandalyn Lyles is also wanted for some fraud stuff. So still have 4 people, and it'll be updated today with 6 new people.
You know about how many people have been arrested recently?
Since January the 1st of this year, we've arrested 38 people off Crime Stoppers.
Okay.
Out of the most wanted from Crime Stoppers tips.
And in regard to award money, I understand people who give in tips that lead to an arrest, they could receive award money. Mm-hmm. How much has been given out so far? So far,
we've given out just a little over $2,000 in reward money, and the person who called in this past tip for DeLacio got a substantial reward.
You just encourage people, you know, they may know just bits and pieces of a case, but how important is that to you all?
A little piece can make a big difference in a case. Something that may be small to you is tremendous to us. You can always reach us at 977-1111. Just nobody answers that phone but me, and I'll take your information.
And Twin County Crime Stoppers has upped award amounts in 4 unsolved murder cases in Rocky Mount. The award amount for each case is now $5,000. The money will be given to someone who has information that leads to an arrest. Each of these cases occurred during the first half of the year in the city. 2 cases involved the shootings of convenience store owners, 47-year-olds Rafiq Salim Sofan of Sammy's Food Mart on March 7th and Abdul Karim Al-Warrick of Karim's Food Mart, who died May 19th. In April, 18-year-old Shaquem Devontae Avent was shot, later to crash his vehicle and die near Lee Street and Sunset Avenue. And 46-year-old James Tony Cooper died in a fatal home invasion on April 26th on Brandon Lane. Anyone with information about any of these unsolved slayings is asked to contact Twin County Crime Stoppers at 252-977-1111, or you can email Crime Stoppers at rockymountnc.gov. Again, Crime Stoppers pays cash rewards for information that leads to an arrest in felony cases. Callers never have to be identified. When we return on today's news break, a longtime Tarboro politician resigns. This story and more right after these words.
It's back for a limited time. Every new Buick and GMC at Davenport Auto Park is being offered at the GM employee price. Combined with factory incentives, now you can drive out for up to $5,000 below dealer invoice amount. And that's not all. With Davenport's dealership for life, you can even get a free lifetime warranty, plus free oil changes, rotations, and more for no extra charge. Employee price, rebates up to $5,000, free lifetime warranty. See if anybody beats that deal. But hurry, this offer ends soon, only at Davenport Auto Park in Rocky Mount. Still your dealership for life.
We're your news team, bringing it home to you with meteorologist Fred Holdsworth, anchor Marie Torres, sports reporter Edward Green, and Matt Habit, our studio guy. WHIG TV Newsbreak, your voice in the community.
The Country Inn & Suites is your home away from home with a staff that always treats you as family. If you or your church or company has visitors, give them a great Rocky Mount welcome with a special discount on their overnight or extended stay. Not only is the Country Inn & Suites a comfortable place, we'll spoil them with fresh cookies and complimentary breakfast. We are filled with luxuries like an indoor pool, fitness center, and a guest laundry. The Business Center includes a boardroom, connection to high-speed internet, and catering for meetings is always available. Call me, Donna Chavis, at 252-442-0500 for a tour and or to set up your corporate rate. You're always welcome as family in the Country Inn & Suites, Rocky Mount.
Welcome back to WHIG TV Newsbreak. I'm Marie Torres. Among several vetoes from the North Carolina House this week, one is the push to head legislation that would place additional restrictions on abortions. Tuesday, the House voted 72-47 to override Governor Beverly Perdue's veto of a bill requiring women to get an ultrasound and wait 24 hours after state-mandated counseling before an abortion. Now the Senate must approve a veto override, it by a 3/5 majority before the abortion regulations become law. Though bill supporter Representative Ruth Samuelson, a Mecklenburg County Republican, says the new restrictions will make abortions safer and less frequent, several Democrats in the House, including Wilson's Representative Jean Farmer Butterfield, have for months opposed the measure.
Bad medicine, bad policy, pure politics. The bill tells medical providers how to practice medicine and almost exactly what to say to the patient.
This bill is about shutting down the ability to get an abortion in North Carolina, and this bill is an attack on doctors. Please vote no.
This legislature would not single out a medical procedure affecting only men. If men could have abortions, it would be a civil right. We would not require a man to sit through intrusive, coercive counseling for a medical procedure mandated by politicians who don't trust them. Of course we would not.
What a woman really has a right to know is that she will be given the right and the respect by this state to make her own decision regarding her life and her body. Many of my colleagues promote the idea of local decision making. Well, folks, this is the ultimate local decision. It is abominable to me that this legislative body is trying to enter into this most personal of decisions.
Though the House triumphed in the bill on Tuesday, they failed in their attempt to override Purdue's veto of legislation that would have required voters to present photo identification before casting their ballots. The city of Wilson will not give up so easy on their battle to keep Sanderson Farms out of the region. Wednesday, a notice of appeals was filed in the Nash County Clerk of Superior Court by lawyers representing the city of Wilson. Wilson city government has set aside $1 million to fight the poultry producer from building a processing plant near the Nash and Wilson County line, stating potential harm to the environment. The city joins 30 landowners in both counties in 2 lawsuits. A recent ruling by NC Superior Court Judge Russell Duke Jr. back in May removed the city as a plaintiff in the lawsuits filed last November and in late April. A longtime political figure steps down in Tarboro. Town Councilman Steve Hoard resigned from his Ward 8 seat this month, citing health-related and personal issues. Hoard, a Tarboro native and a retired dentist, previously served Tarboro's town council from 1983 to 1985 and 2 terms on the Edgecombe County Board of Commissioners during the 1990s. In 2007, he was again elected to the town council. Since his resignation, the council has begun advertising for his vacant position and will consider a replacement at next month's meeting. And as a reminder, North Carolina Wesleyan College will be having their special enrollment day. The event is called Decision Day and will be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the college tomorrow. If you're interested in being admitted, you must bring your completed application, school transcripts, and proof of SAT or ACT scores. You can obtain an application online at the college's website at www.ncwc.edu or stop by their admissions office. Bill Allen, Vice President of Enrollment, says the day will also allow family and prospective students to learn more about the college and have a bit of fun.
We've got a couple of things planned for them. First off, we're going to start with a tour of campus, and they'll tour campus with a student. We will follow up with a panel of both students and faculty and staff on what they can expect from their Wesleyan experience. We'll wrap up with a pig roast barbecue, and so everybody will have a great lunch, and then we'll sit down and chat with each of them about where they stand at the end of the day.
For more information, you should call 252-985-5200. And here's a look at what we're working on.
Temperature, the extreme temperature. This extreme heat is removing moisture from the soil and from our plants at a much faster rate than more normal temperate temperatures would. So that exacerbates this water deficit situation we're having.
Drought is our area facing one. Next week we'll look at how the summer heat is wreaking havoc on crops and what you can do to conserve water. After the break, it's your look at sports and weather. Stay with us.
It's back for a limited time. Every new Buick and GMC at Davenport Auto Park is being offered at the GM employee price. Combined with factory incentives, now you can drive out for up to $5,000 below dealer invoice amount. And that's not all. With Davenport's dealership for life, you can even get a free lifetime warranty. Plus free oil changes, rotations, and more for no extra charge. Employee price, rebates up to $5,000, free lifetime warranty. See if anybody beats that deal. But hurry, this offer ends soon, only at Davenport Auto Park in Rocky Mount. Still your dealership for life.
The Country Inn & Suites is your home away from home with a staff that always treats you as family. If you or your church or company has visitors, give them a great Rocky Mount welcome with a special discount on their overnight or extended stay. Not only is the Country Inn & Suites a comfortable place, we'll spoil them with fresh cookies and complimentary breakfast. We are filled with luxuries like an indoor pool, fitness center, and a guest laundry. The Business Center includes a boardroom, connection to high-speed internet, and catering for meetings is always available. Call me, Donna Chavis, at 252-442-0500 for a tour and or to set up your corporate rate. You're always welcome as family in the Country Inn & Suites, Rocky Mount.
And we're back with a look at WHIG-TV weather. Here's the latest with meteorologist Fred Holdsworth. Fred?
And the heat continues. Round 2 of a strong heat wave with us probably into late Sunday. And the temperatures this time probably a bit warmer than we had in our first heat wave last week. So hang on, here it comes again. The high pressure over our area will be suppressing any kind of thunderstorm activity, and we probably won't see any chance of a thunderstorm until Saturday afternoon. So the heat is coming. Check on the elderly, take care of the pets outside, make sure they have shade and plenty of water. Well, outside right now we have let's go to our forecast map and see if we can get that up this morning and see if we can get that across. And here it is, the severe weather right here. Now earlier this morning we saw strong thunderstorms moving across Nebraska, Iowa, and even up into Michigan, and these are putting down quite a bit of rain, a lot of cloud to ground lightning. We see a flash flood warning and possibility right in here across eastern Iowa, the southern part of Wisconsin, northern part of Illinois, all the way across to Lake Erie right in here. This is all in connection with a frontal boundary which extends from Nebraska all the way up into Canada. Low pressure moving along this front will give them a series of thunderstorms, and what these thunderstorms are doing are what we call training, one behind the other, and as they go over the same area they contribute to flash flooding. So those people are facing that today. Down in our area, it's the heat. High pressure over western North Carolina will keep the rain and thunderstorms generally to our south. Now out here in the Gulf we have Tropical Storm Don, and we will talk about that a little later. It's going to move probably in this direction right here towards the Texas coast. But rain and thunderstorms will be scattered from eastern Texas all the way through South Florida and up into South Carolina. As we go farther west, We see rain and thunderstorms over the Four Corners area, extending all the way up into the nation's midsection. And then high pressure over the northwest is going to give them a fairly pleasant day today. Now you notice along the California, Oregon, and Washington coast, fair weather. They are now into their dry season. And while they can get some rain from time to time, this is part of what we call the Mediterranean climate right in here. And that's a cool, wet winter and a warm, dry summer. And that's what they're looking at right now. Well, let's take a look now at our forecast and see what we can expect. And first of all, a heat advisory is in effect until 9 o'clock tonight. An excessive heat watch will be in effect from Friday morning through Saturday evening. For today, sunny with a high of 100, southwest wind at 6, heat index 106. For tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 74, light wind. Friday, sunny with a high of 102, winds will be west at 7, and a heat index at 110. Friday night, partly cloudy with a low of 76, a west wind at 5. Saturday, sunny with a slight chance of an afternoon thunderstorm and a high of 98, north wind at 5. Saturday night, partly cloudy, chance of showers and thunderstorms with a low of 75. Chance of showers and thunderstorms on Sunday, 93 degrees will be the high. Sunday night, chance of showers and thunderstorms with a low of 72. And as the work week starts up again on Monday, chance of showers and thunderstorms with a high of 93 and a low of 72. 93 was our high yesterday. Our low this morning was 72. The national extremes for yesterday, 113 degrees at Hutchinson, Kansas and Salina, Kansas. The low, 30 degrees in Stanley, Idaho. The most rainfall reported by the National Weather Service yesterday, 2.5 inches at Sioux Falls, Iowa. And that's a look at your Tri-County weather right up to now. Now back to you.
Thank you, Fred. And with us now with our sports report is Edward Green. Tell us what's the latest, Edward.
Well, Marie, with these hot temperatures we've been having, it's tough to get outside, but so much baseball is going on right now.
Okay.
And, not too long, football's starting again.
All right.
Anyway, the March to the end of July heralds one of the most potentially frantic times in baseball, the trade deadline. For the past few weeks, general managers across the country have been continually assessing their teams and whether they are in fact buyers or sellers. With over half the league still in contention for a playoff spot and a growing importance on farm system and cultivating talent from within, the biggest names on the hot stove have come with huge price tags. Now with that, let's take a look at some of the biggest names out there this trade season. Now first off is outfielder Carlos Beltran. His tenure with the Mets has been plagued by injury, but he leads the National League in doubles and is in the top 10 in OPS, which is on base plus slugging percentage. Now all signs are pointing to a deal that is in the process right now of wrapping up. This trade would send Beltran to the San Francisco Giants for a package that includes minor league pitcher Zach Wheeler, who some in the Giants organization call their best prospect. Beltran provided a huge boost the last time he was a deadline deal. In 2004, he turned around a stagnant Astros team that was .500 and got them to the National League Championship Series. Fans in the Bay Area will hope he can do the same for one of the worst offenses in the league that is also looking to repeat as World Series champions. And one of the first pieces to move this summer was St. Louis outfielder Colby Rasmus. Rasmus is one of the most streaky players in the league and will be heading to Toronto as the centerpiece of an 8-player deal that sees Edwin Jackson, who was originally brought over from Chicago, moving again to St. Louis. Rasmus will now be the Blue Jays' everyday center fielder and hopes a change of scenery that saw him in conflict with many in the organization, including players and coaches, will bring him out of a season-long slump that sees him batting 30 points less than last year. And one player that has been pursued heavily by many teams still in contention is Seattle starter Felix Hernandez. Now Hernandez won the American League Cy Young Award last season on the back of a sterling 2.27 ERA. And the Mariners' continued struggles this year, including falling out out of contention after a 17-game losing streak have led some to believe the team should deal him for prospects. But Hernandez is currently heading a rotation that also boasts one of the best rookie pitchers in the game, Michael Pineda. It does not appear that Hernandez will be moved, even though the Yankees are one team that have been in contact with the M's, but the Mariners are also trying to show their fans they are not giving up on the next few seasons as well. And we take a look now at some of the other names in the rumor mill. San Diego closer Heath Bell has had his name mentioned since the start of spring training. With the Padres out of the NL West race and a lot of teams needing bullpen help, it seems like only a matter of time before Bell is dealt to a contender, saving the Padres some money in the process. With Beltran now settled, teams have shifted attention to Hunter Pence, the outfielder for the Houston Astros. Houston management appears hesitant to give up the current face of the franchise, but teams like Philadelphia and Atlanta who need outfield help and missed out on Beltran may be more receptive to giving up top prospects in exchange for Pence. The lone Astros All-Star this year and a good outfielder who hits for average and gap-to-gap power. And lastly, and surprisingly, Colorado is listening to teams about star pitcher Ubaldo Jimenez. Jimenez was fantastic last season, going 19-8, but has struggled with injuries this year. Jimenez has a team-friendly contract, though, that management may be content with, but a team like Cincinnati, who is loaded with position players in the farm system, may have just enough to make the talks heat up. And now switching gears to minor league baseball and the Carolina Mudcats, who have shown a lot of life in the second half of the season. They lost a close one last night to Jacksonville 5-4. Down 3 in the ninth, the Mudcats came up with a run, followed by Eric Campbell hitting a single to center that scored James Skelton. But Kevin Madison threw out Didi Gregorius at the plate to prevent the tie game and preserving the win for the Suns. Madison also had a pair of RBIs for Jacksonville, hitting the second pitch of the game out for a home run and singling home a run later in the game. Matt Klinker gave up 5 runs in 5 innings of work as he took the loss for Carolina to drop to 6-7. Jose Alvarez gave up just 2 runs in 5 1/3 to notch his first Double-A win as a member of Jacksonville. Chris Hatcher came in with the bases loaded and no outs in the ninth to lock up his 4th save. The series continues tonight at 7 over at Five County Stadium in Zebulon. Brandon Heineck will throw for the Mudcats against Omar Poveda. And though the first half record was not stellar, Carolina is only 5 games back of a playoff spot as we head to August. So baseball season is really starting to heat up, Marie, but this Saturday, high school football practices are starting, and with the NFL lockout over, we will be in two-sport mode for a while here shortly. And one last bit of news that came across last night, very surprising, amid NCAA investigations, North Carolina has decided to let go of its football coach, Butch Davis. He was in his 4th season, actually he was about to start his 5th season with the program, but they fired him amid some academic violations that took place with members of the football team in years past. Okay. So he's gone, and it's going to be a tough way for a team that's about to start practicing, and games start in a month for college football. So it'll be interesting to see how the Tar Heels respond. All right, definitely. Well, thank you so much, Edward. Thanks, Marie. That's all for us here today on NewsBreak. Tune in next week for more news that's impacting the community. For WHIG TV, I'm Marie Torres. We'll see you next time.